Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule sets of the VGC 2018 season. So we kicked off the week this week with the Hail Core. We kind of switched things up from last week, how we were playing, and we threw out the Tapu Lele, the Gyarados, Alolan Marowak and Alolan Mucking, and then brought in the Mandibuzz, Tapu Fini, Arcanine and Zerkerdee, and unfortunately it just hasn't quite worked on Monday and Tuesday, and I've been pretty bummed about how we kind of, I think a combination of things, how we kind of threw the team together, trying to adapt it to work, how I was playing, and just you know, it's never great putting out 4 losses on 2 days, and it's not something I really want to be doing as well, because, you know, I do have I care a lot. I think that's the thing. The bottom line of it is I care a lot about the content that I'm putting out for you guys, and I want it to always be very beneficial. And you can always argue the point that sometimes losses, especially when you analyze them and see where you went wrong, it's really beneficial, but at the same time I want to be putting successful content out for you guys, and I do get really bummed out about it. And between recording those episodes and now, I tried a gazillion different combinations to work around with this team. I tried Melodic, Talonflame, Garchomp. I tried loads of stuff, Tapu Koko, and none of it seemed to work. And I think it was probably a combination of just trying to throw things together to get it to work without thinking about it properly, and just my mood at the time, and just being really kind of probably dwelling too much on the fact that I feel like I'm letting you guys down by putting like these videos out and not being successful and stuff. So I tried a gazillion and one things, and I really didn't know where to go with it because nothing seemed to be working. And then it wasn't until I started reading the comments and getting the comments when the videos went up on Monday and Tuesday from you guys, and it was like a little switch. The more comments that I kind of went through, my mood seemed to change with that. And I just need to say a massive huge thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me in the channel, the videos, the content, and just mainly giving your feedback on everything, because it kind of like twigged with me. I was like, there's no point of being so bummed out about it. I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to make any progress just dwelling on things. I've got to kind of get into the frame of mind that these guys are in right now, and it really did help. So just a massive thank you to each and every one of you. So on the back of that, I thought we'll give this team one last ride, and today I actually sat down and I properly went through the team and how it worked, because I think one of the big problems was with the team, we just kind of thrown Pokemon in here from other teams that I hadn't really specifically EV'd anything, catered anything for this actual team. Like the Mandibuzz and the Fini and even the Arcanine and the Zerkerdee are all from different teams, and I just threw them on expecting them all to work, and that's not how Pokemon works. You've got a team, you've got a concept, you've got a strategy that you work on, and you have to cater every single Pokemon in that squad to the team for it to function well. And I think more so for these really specific teams like Hail Cores and things that have such a bad time anyway because of the format and how it's kind of set up. So what we've done, we've EV'd everything from the ground up again. So we've EV'd the Vanilluxe, so it takes some minor attacks and things like that. Same with the Sandslash. Re-EV'd the speed stats as well, so we're outspeeding some big threats and we know where we're sitting with things. The Mandibuzz was a great suggestion we had from Zephyros, I think your user handle is. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong as well. But you suggested the fake tears on the Mandibuzz, and that was something I thought, that's actually really good. And you know what, like on top of that, I wanted to run a really fast Mandibuzz, a really speedy Mandibuzz to go with the team, because I think it would suit it a lot better. So the fake tears is a great idea because it benefits the Vanilluxe. Imagine getting a fake tears off after a Tailwind and then a Blizzard on something. It's going to be disgusting. It's disgusting enough with just the choice specs, but with the fake tears there, it's great. It gives us other options. Same goes for the Tapu Fini. You can support it that way as well. And that Zerkerdee as well. We had a Tail Glow Zerkerdee. We'd kind of thrown that on, and I don't think it really fit too well. It maybe could have functioned alright with Aurora Veil support and things like that, but it wasn't really catered to the team. So we've got a really wonky item on it, but it fits for this team, and we'll go on to that a bit later. But that fake tears really benefits the Zerkerdee here. We've got a Thunderbolt, Energy Ball and Hidden Power Ground on it. And they're quite specific for taking out certain threats that we otherwise haven't really got too many options against. And just for instance, a Fake Tears on a 252 HP, 4 defense, Gigalith, Fake Tears, Energy Ball from the Xurkitree, 1-hit KO, clean. So we get we've got an answer to one of the biggest threats to a Hail Call right there. Arcanine was another thing we changed up. We had that support of Arcanine. I just didn't think that was fitting in well. We've got a Life Orb Arcanine, more offensive, faster variant, and I think that suits the team a lot better because it makes sure that we can hit the more threatening targets a lot quicker to get rid of them, so our Hail Call, more than anything, can operate well. We've got that Wiki Bear, the Pinch Berry on the Finny, that was another suggestion to you guys. We've got Groundium Z on the Alolan Sandslash, so that was mentioned by a couple of you guys, and I think that is perfect. It helps us deal with Coco, helps us deal with Muck, gives us an option against Arcanine, etc, etc, etc. I haven't dropped the Aurora Veil, but they're the basic premise, and I just need to say thank you so much, because I feel like a different person today coming into this, whereas yesterday I was like, oh my god, I was like pulling my hair out, I was trying different things and just nothing seemed to work, and I really didn't know where to go with it. So I think just reading those comments and like the benefit from them has really kind of produced what we'll go into today, and I feel positive that we're going to turn things around, hopefully get a couple of results, and then we can end the week on a high, hopefully. And I think the team, after I've EV'd everything, I feel a lot more comfortable with it, and I guess that's a big sign for you guys if you're struggling with a team and you've just thrown a few Pokemon together, to maybe look at it on a whole and see if it operates exactly how you want it to. But we'll go into that a bit later, because we have our first opponent of the day, Nico, and they are running a team of Tapu Koko, Golduck, Pelipper, Metagross, Buzzwole, and Garchomp. So this is going to be a good test for us. We've got a rain mode against a Hail Call, so we'll see where we go. We've got to imagine that the Buzzwole has Bulldoze there to support that Metagross. Maybe the Garchomp does as well. Probably more likely the Buzzwole. The rain mode's going to be a bit awkward to deal with, and so is that Tapu Koko, but we do have ways to get around the rain if we so wish to. So what can we do here? One lead we could do is Xurkitree and Alolan Sandslash, but what would be the main? It's just if we see the Garchomp come in. So we could lead Mandibuzz, which isn't too bad, and Tapu Fini, and get a Tailwind off that way. And maybe bring Arcanine as our last one. Yeah, actually I will bring Arcanine as our last one here, because it gives us a nice way to intimidate things like Garchomp and Buzzwole. If we can make sure we get rid of the rain, Arcanine is going to be outspeeding Golduck. As long as it's a modest variant, we should be outspeeding it. We've got access to Wild Charge as well, so we can take advantage of the electric terrain if we wish. So it's going to be difficult to manage, but it's not going to be impossible. It's just going to be an awkward game. We just need to make the right plays, make the smart plays, and not really risk too much too early. So we lead off with Mandibuzz and Tapu Fini, which is quite nice because we see my opponent lead off with that Metagross and the Buzzwole. So we can imagine that we'll probably see, you've got to imagine we maybe see a Bulldoze come out straight away from this Buzzwole. I mean, one play we could do here is go Fake Tears, Moonblast into that Buzzwole. I'm not really sure if it picks up the KO, and especially if it's an Assault Vest variant, it's definitely not going to, is it? We could just go Tailwind, which again isn't a bad option at all, and just protect Tapu Fini here. Yeah, I think that's probably the safest way around it. Just protect Fini, because there's things like Meteor Mash, Poison Jab that could come out from us that aren't going to be great. I think Mandibuzz in this position is not too heavily threatened, but we'll be able to kind of judge from that on what my opponent throws out. We see a Poison Jab come out and a Meteor Mash come out onto this Tapu Fini, so I feel like we take a Meteor Mash. we can't use Fake Tears and Metagross because of the clear body, but we can Fake Tears the Buzzwole. I don't really want to go for a... I mean, one thing we could do is go for a Fake... We could pull a double switch, but it's not really great. It's just I don't want to, like, launch a foul play into that Metagross and set off its weakness policy. That's the only thing. I feel like maybe a Fake Tears and a Moonblast into the Buzzwole is probably our best play in this position without kind of disrupting everything else. So there's that Fake Tears coming out. We're going to get to see that straight away in the first game, which is quite nice. We've got to hope that this is enough. Soon find out. It's enough! We do it! Excellent. So we get rid of one big threat. We're probably going to take a Meteor Mash now from that Metagross though into Finny. But as I say, we should be able to take that. We've not activated a weakness policy or anything like that. But unfortunately for us, that Metagross does get an attack boost with the Meteor Mash, which is its kind of side effect to that. I think it's 10, is it 10% of the time or 20% of the time it gets a stat increase. So that is going to help our foul play damage massively. And especially with the Pelipper kind of coming in here, we're going to be able to, you know, launch off a Muddy Water and a foul play into that Metagross and take huge advantage of that. One thing we could do is just taunt the Pelipper and Muddy Water, just to stop the Pelipper getting off a potential Tailwind, which is going to be a big threat, and just go for a Muddy Water here. It'll do good damage to the Metagross and it'll break the potential Sash on that Pelipper as well. And just by taunting the Pelipper, we're stopping it from getting and making use of that Tailwind if it decides to go for that. Might just go for a straight up attack, kind of scouting out the taunt coming out onto it, but it may not as well. So there's the taunt, followed by a Muddy Water, so we do hit, which is nice. So we break the Sash on the Pelipper, do good damage to that Metagross and probably put it in foul play range. Pelipper does go for the Tailwind, and Metagross actually opting to attack into the Mandibuzz this turn, so we can just go, might be a good time to go for a, like, we can definitely go for a foul play into the Metagross, and maybe just a Moonblast into the Pelipper. Like, the worst it can do is probably go for a Hurricane into something. Like, +1 foul play should take this Metagross down. Yeah, we do. Okay, so that's great. And we'll go for that Moonblast. And now my opponent can't switch the Rain out, can't switch it back in. And Moonblast just missing the KO there. Brian coming out onto the Mandibuzz and picking up a KO. Probably got it without the critical hit there, but we'll never know. Tailwind does peter out for us now, but we do have a free switch in to our Vanilluxe. Get rid of that Rain, get our heal up, and you've got to imagine that this last Pokemon is probably the Tapu Koko, but it's a Garchomp. Okay. Don't mind this at all, because we can just Blizzard and we can switch in our Arcanine for our Tapu Fini, get an Intimidate off onto that Garchomp. If it goes for the Tech Rage, we will take that at -1 with our Vanilluxe, and we're going to get a Blizzard off unless we see a Wide Guard from this Pelipper. That's the only thing that could come out and scupper our plan right now. But it is taunted, so we're not even going to see that, so that's fine. And we see a Rock Slide, Arcanine avoiding. We've got to hope that Vanilluxe doesn't flinch here. Okay, and a Brian coming out into Arcanine for all Pokemon. Alright, that isn't great. Because now Vanilluxe, if the Garchomp decides to go for a Tech Rage, it will pick up the KO onto Vanilluxe. I think we switch out our Arcanine into our Tapu Fini, so we've got the Arcanine at least to come back in and get an Intimidate off onto this Garchomp. Let's pray it's like Scarfed and not... Yeah, it looks like it's Scarfed. But Vanilluxe might take -2, another one maybe. But Thank the Lord. We don't flinch this time. Get the Blizzard off. Pick up the KR. And we're back in business, guys. We got our first win this week. It's a very good game to my opponent. And you have no idea how happy I am about that win. And I think we managed everything quite well there. Took big opportunities when we had them. Like the fake tears, Moonblast play into the Buzzwole was huge, getting rid of that big threat. And then from there, you know, we didn't really make any big risks. We just played the safer turns every time, and it got a bit scary at the end there, towards the end with those rock slides and the flinching there. But we managed to kind of just see it through and close the game out. So we did it, and it's all thanks to you guys at home. So thank you so much, and let's go on to our next game and hopefully finish on a bit of a high today. So what didn't I explain when we were kind of just recapping at the very start of the episode? I feel like I waffled on for forever, but I probably missed a lot of things out. So yes, the item on the circuitry. So I originally had Life Orb on it because the Life Orb like damage with the fake tears was ridiculous. You like picking up chaos here, there and everywhere. But then when I started putting the Arcanine spread together, I decided that I wanted Wild Charge on it, and I wanted to make use of that to get KOs and things like that on certain Pokemon, and I kind of ended up needing the Life Orb on that a lot more than I did on the circuitry. But I still wanted a boosting item on the circuitry, so I was looking all through the item list and thinking, what could I put on it? I could put Wise Glasses, I could put Expert Belt, but Expert Belt has to be super effective to get the boost, so it's not ideal. Then I came across Zaplet, and Zaplet gives you enough of a boost in your electric type attacks, and we don't really miss any of the KOs on the other moves that we've got there, that we wouldn't have already got. So the Zaplet with the Thunderbolt is like ridiculously powerful, so we'll see if we can feature it maybe in today's episode, if not by the end of the week, because I feel like the circuitry is going to be very good if we can get it going. But we've got another familiar team. I think we've faced this already once or twice this week, but it is that very similar to a Rashomati team that kind of trended thanks to Nigel from Japan, and then came across here, and Arash piloted to massive success at a lot of events in Europe early season. So it is that Garchomp, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Tapu Koko, Whimsicott and Celesteela. So how are we going to approach this one this time around? Hillcore is going to be very good, but I don't know if we lead it. And I don't know if we bring the Sands. I like the Sandslash is actually pretty good here. But I do want Arcanine. Maybe I want Circuitry. But then maybe I want Vanilluxe. But it means we're going to have to be very, very careful with how we manage our Tailwind. So we'll go with it. Because you've got to imagine my opponent keeps that Garchomp like everyone seems to do in the back right to the last minute. So if we can preserve our Mandibuzz well enough to the late game with that Vanilluxe, that's something we need to keep in the back of our minds, I think, because it's likely we'll see that Garchomp come out as the last Pokemon if we get to that point. Now we do see Whimsicott and Celesteela come out for my opponent here. And we don't want to just plainly set up, start setting up with Tapu Fini here because of the encore from that Whimsicott. One of the things I kind of worry about is, like, my initial thought is I want to Taunt into the Celesteela to stop it getting any Leech Seeds off or anything like that. But if we see the Wimmy switch, the Celesteela switch out for the Koko and the Wimmy go for Z Nature Power into the Mandibuzz, I guess if it's Z Nature Power it won't affect us because of the Prankster. I think we can go for a Tailwind here. And let's bring in Arcanine. Because maybe Whimsicott just goes for a Tailwind, matches it himself. Wimmy goes for the Taunt, but not realizing that because we're a Dark type, the Prankster ability doesn't work on us, so we get away with that. Celesteela going for that Leech Seed into the Mandibuzz. Okay. But I feel this is probably a good position for us to actually just go for a switch in the Vanilluxe for our Mandibuzz and go for a Flare Blitz into the Celesteela, because we might see the Garchomp come in. Although if the Garchomp comes in on that slot, my opponent will have Tailwind up as well. And then we're not going to have access to... So we could switch out Arcanine. Could pull a double switch here. Let's go for the Flare Blitz into the Steela. I just think it might have been good for us to switch out our Arcanine. So we've got the Intimidate to bring back in on the Garchomp potentially. So Vanilluxe can definitely get through that next turn. So Whimsicott, no switches or anything, just a Tailwind coming out from the Wimmy. Life Orb, Flare Blitz should take this down. It does. Okay. I'm going to take a heck of a lot of recoil damage from this though. But we get rid of the one big threat, so that's quite good. And that Arcanine kind of shown already, it's worth just being able to take down Celesteela like that is pretty huge. We break the sash on the Whimsicott with the hail there, and we see Tapu Fini come in. Okay, so I can just Blizzard and go for a Wild Charge. But do we want to preserve, this is the thing, do we want to preserve Arcanine here? But because Arcanine could potentially get Encored. No, I think we go for the Wild Charge into the Fini. Ooh, Charm coming out, okay. So I didn't see that kind of come out, which is a bit of a shame, but we do get the Wild Charge. You're going to get it with decent damage regardless. We'll probably lose Arcanine here to a Muddy Water, but we will get rid of this Whimsicott in the same turn, so that's fine. And we do decent enough damage to the opposing Tapu Fini regardless. Proc a berry. Is this a citrus berry? It is. Uncommon item, but we see, okay, Carmine coming out. Problem is, I think our Tailwind ends now. My opponent's has still got one turn left. Oh no. So I think this is going to be the penultimate turn of our Trick Room. Now do we pull a double switch here? Or do we just go for the Blizzards? Because where's the Arcanine gonna... The Arcanine's gonna fire off Tech Rage into the Vanilluxe here. It has to. I'm gonna bring in Mandibuzz. And I am gonna switch in Tapu Fini here. Because I don't think the Garchomp in this position goes for a Swords Dance. There's no way you go for a Swords Dance here. Unless you play the Mad Reeds. So there's just a Rock Slide coming out. Okay. Doing decent damage to both targets. But not wasting. Ooh, going for a Scald into the Mandibuzz. Okay. So our Tailwind pit is out here. I think I'm going to go Tailwind with Mandibuzz. And I'm going to go Moonblast. Because if that Garchomp decides to go for a Sword Dance its last turn, I want to punish it. But it doesn't like it's going to do that. It looks like it's going to go for the Tech Rage. But at the same time, I'm not massively sad about this. Because it means we're going to get a switch into Arcanine and Vanilluxe. We're going to have that Intimidate. We're not going to have to worry about a Tech Rage. We've got access to Wild Charge as well. And we've got Freeze Dry that we can launch off. We are going to lose both our Pokemon, but we're not sitting in the worst position going into this last turn. My opponent's Tailwind is going to end now. So for things on a level playing field. No, I don't want. I want Vanilluxe on the right. I want Arcanine on the left. Question is, what do we do here? Do we go for... Do we protect Arcanine? But if we protect Arcanine... And just Blizzard, maybe. I feel like the Garchomp has to Rock Slide here. Yeah, because he knows the Wild Charge is coming out. I'm just going to Blizzard. I mean, I could Freeze Dry, but... If we can take the Garchomp down here, we should outspeed the Finny. Garchomp Rock Sliding. So we got to pray again, no flinch is coming out. Because we will be doubled into from this Finny onto a Vanilluxe. No flinch. Excellent. We're going to take down the Garchomp. Get some chip onto that Finny, and we know for a fact that the Wild Charge is going to be able to take it down this next turn, even if Vanilluxe goes down here, as it's going to. We survive! Okay, but no, we don't. Get the burn. Hail does stop, which is going to help our Arcanine survive a little bit longer. Vanilluxe hanging on, doesn't want to go down just yet. So we can lock in with that Wild Charge. We could probably Extreme Speed here, but... we can't do anything other than Blizzard, but we'll probably see the Finny just protect to get rid of the Vanilluxe. Yeah. But we are going to be able to, unless something mad goes on now, we're going to be able to pick up 2 wins, which puts us right back on track going into the rest of the week. So that is absolutely amazing. Wild Charge into the Finny. It is enough to pick up the KO there, and we are able to win the game. Take a bit of recoil and then the Life Orb damage. But Arcanine hanging on with 5 HP. And very good game to my opponent, and massive contrast to earlier on in the week. With that result there, and small margins again, but I think managing the field a lot better, and making sure we're I think picking the right Pokemon when we need to, and I think the new EV spread, the kind of tailored team to the core, is working very well. We didn't unfortunately get to feature the circuitry, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully we've got a couple more episodes this week to throw out, a couple more games at least to throw out, and hopefully get to feature that at least on Friday, so that will be amazing. But we're going to wrap things up there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you just so much again for like all the comments and support that you give the channel. It is absolutely amazing, I think it just shows how good this community is in general. And if we class the channel as a sort of community as well, like I feel massively blessed that I've got like all of you guys interacting, viewing, and everything like that. It's just, it's very like heartwarming at times. It feels a bit soppy saying that, and it might come across like that, but it's just honesty and things like that. And I do really care about putting good content out for you guys, and I do get bummed out sometimes when things aren't quite going how I want them to go. But it is Pokemon at the end of the day, and sometimes things don't go the way you want them to all the time. You just got to keep getting back up, dust yourself off, and carrying on, and that's the main thing. And I feel like we're on the road to that today. We've got maybe a little way to go, but I feel like the changes that we made with the team are helping with that. If you guys want a paste bin of this team, if you want a QR code of this new Hail Core made, let me know. I will definitely provide that for you guys. I feel like it's pretty solid, feels really good, and I look forward to kind of carrying on with it into the rest of the week. So we're going to wrap things up there, guys. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It is massively helpful for the channel. If you're new to the channel, we do loads of VGC content, so do subscribe so you don't miss any of that, especially with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon just around the corner. And we are going to have our stream tomorrow evening, Thursday night, so 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time +1. We will be kicking off on our Twitch channel. Link is in the description and on the channel banner. There's a little Twitch logo, just hit that, it'll take you straight over to the Twitch website if you're around. We are going to be doing Battle Spot doubles tomorrow evening, and we will have a brand new team to feature, so I'm very excited about that. We can play the Tapu Lele Ludicolo Metagross Hydreigon team if you guys like. There is going to be a Battle Spot doubles episode up later on, so do stick around for that. It's a very good episode, and featuring one very cool Mega Pokemon that I absolutely love. So it's a very good game, and I would definitely recommend sticking around for it, or definitely catching it if you have time at some point. It's one to watch, I would say. So we'll wrap things up there, guys, and I will see you all for the stream tomorrow for those of you who are around, and those of you who are not around for the stream, I hope you're all having a great evening, whatever you're doing, and we'll be back for another episode of the School of Hard Knocks very soon. So take care of yourselves, guys. Have a great evening, morning, night, afternoon, dinner, whatever time of day it is, whatever you're doing. Don't know why I threw dinner in there, but have a great whatever you're doing, and I will see you all later. Take care of yourselves, and until then, bye bye.